Alright, what is good with y'all guys? Welcome back to another video. So I got this cool little contraption set up right here for my wheel. So I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to use wheel with no assist on CarX Drift Racing is the game you can see right in front of me. I can make the screen smaller for you guys real quick actually, so it doesn't bother y'all. There you go, that's a little better for you guys. So yeah, it's not the best, it's obviously a little wobbly and stuff, you're gonna see some things like this, going on. But yeah, so I just need this for reference so you guys can see. So it's better to learn things visually than to not, So let's get started with this video. So right now the wheel, let me tighten this real quick. Alright, so the wheel right here, as you can see, is up and running, So you obviously click on this video because you already have a wheel. So first thing I'm gonna show you guys is the wheel settings. So you want to go down or go up to the right to controller right here's, and then first thing you want to make sure is your FFB clip is on. It's going to be a green dot right there. You can click Y to turn it off, but you want that thing on or your force feedback will not work. And if your force feedback is still not working, you can always unplug and replug your device until it works. It's bugged in the game, but it does work and it's really good force feedback. I like it. So then we're going to go advanced settings. This is where everything's done. So I did start at 720 degrees of steering. This is important. So this is where everything's this is most important, setting wise for wheel. So right here, gearbox is manual, as you can see. Got mine right here. Cheap $60 Logitech gearbox. I don't feel like spending more than, this right here. So yeah, that's it. And then clutch, you can see it's automatic because right here, if you look at my feet, so this is throttle, brake, and this is clutch, but I use this as e-brake, right? Because I don't like turning my wheel, and if the wheels turn like this, I need to correct, and I'm holding it like this. I gotta figure out what the button is, and I lose sight of my drifting, so I don't want to do that. So obviously my clutch is my third pedal, but obviously once I get a handbrake, then I might consider clutch, because I got pretty good at clutch kicking in Assetto and CarX, but whatever. Controller assist off. You want this off. This is why you're here, because you want to learn how to drift with this setting off. So steering angle. So you can start off with 500. So you can start off with 520 degrees of steering angle, but what I use is 900. It's actually, or I started off with 720, but you can go to 900. You can saw mine was at 900. But for the sake of this video, we'll go to 720 so you guys can see what I'm doing and apply it to yours. 720 is my opinion is the best to start because you still have control over it. It's not like 540 where you turn it like this and it's a full rotation lock. Like this, you just turn it like this and then it's a full rotation. So it's a lot easier to drift when there's less angle to cover with spin, so you don't have to throw it all the time, and stuff like that. So yeah, 720 is my favorite spot to start with. And then wheel force feedback. So I set this to just fast enough to rotate my wheel when you let go of it when you're in a drift, so where it lines up without making you spin out or spin out the other direction. So it snaps too far, it rotates too far, and you grab it and stuff, it's already too late. It throws you the other direction. And then dead zone is 0 because if you set this anywhere higher, it's gonna take a while for this to register. So dead zone 0 means that this movement, these little tiny movements right here at the beginning, when your wheel is centered, will affect your car riding. But if you turn it off, these little movements won't affect until you move it out the way, which I don't like dead zone. It kind of messes you up. So don't do dead zone. And it's steering linearity 1, linearity of accelerated. All this stuff is 1, stonk. So you keep that stock. So now you're done with the settings. Those are the settings that you want to do. And then, most important, I cannot stress this enough, is the tune of your car. This is vital for getting your drifts done, because I watched this guy's tutorial on how to tune your car, and his tune was so dummy goofy. I thought I was the one messing up on the drifts, and I was like, there's no way. So I retuned the car to how I tune, and this guy was just dumb goofy. I tuned my car to work for me, and I will share this tune with you guys, and I promise it should work. If it doesn't work, I'll tell you what you can do to adjust, the vital things that you need to change to adjust it. So this is going to be a pretty long tutorial, but you guys want to get good at this, so here you are. This is full 100%. You do not get this information from anyone else. So y'all should subscribe to me because no one else gives out information like this. I literally do my own research and figure it out on my own and give it to you guys. So very beneficial if you watch my YouTube channel, you know. But yeah, let's begin. So there's many good cars you can start with, even the starter car. Let's show you the catalog. The starter car is very good for drifting. Not all these cars are the best for drifting. Let's see, I have the R34, this car right here. Not the best for drifting, so I made it a race car or a road car. This car, Piranha X or the 350Z, very like, it's really good for drifting. It's smooth. It's also slow, so it looks crisp. It's also a nice looking car, but that's the least of your concerns is the visual of the vehicle. And I haven't got into these because, you know, I'm still saving up money. But a really good starter car is literally just the first car you get. This car right here. And then when you unlock the next row of cars, I bought the Phoenix NX, which is just the 240 SX. This is literally my favorite drift car in this game at this moment. You know why? Because it's super easy to drift with. Very large steering angle, 60 degrees. It's perfect car for drifting. Perfect. And not only that, it looks really drippy after you're done your tune. It looks drip. You know, with some body kits, it looks drip, real drip. So we're gonna use the 240 SX. So this is it. Look at this drip of a vehicle. Do you not just want to drift this with no assist? Like, you know how big of a flex that is? And this is why you're here. To drift this thing with no assist. So first, before you can start your flexing with no assist, you gotta know how to tune. You gotta know what's up. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you just rely on others for information, it's over. Once you, well, you know, you can rely on others for information like me. I will give you this information and you will apply it to yourself and change it to your liking. I'm not limiting you. I am expanding you. So this is what this is going to be about. So you go to Dyno Sting. Actually, before you do that, my bad. Forgive me. And the, you know, drift or mods. I don't use Ultimate. I tried Ultimate. It's like, it's weirdly goofy. But that's what the guy's tutorial I followed. I stuck with drift because I don't really like going too fast on drift. I like taking it slow, and it looks really satisfying when it's slow. And so yeah, that's what I went with. Oh no, my car is glitched out. That's not good. But yeah, I went with the drift mod. And then tuning. This is vital. If you do not tune correctly, you will not drift. I cannot stress this any harder. You cannot drift without tune. You can set your steering degree to literally like 90 degrees. So you literally go like this and it's full lock. But you will not be able to drift anything if your tune isn't perfect. I'm still messing around with this tune. I need to get to perfect, but right now it's for at the current state it's at. It's perfect, but I believe I can go even more perfect. But I'll tell you the current state it's at, which is pretty perfect, and I'll explain everything. So first of all, let me like fix this thing going on with the tires. I'll be back. All right, so we are back. So this is the first thing you will see right here, spring length. So what I do, obviously you want your car pretty low, but I will do this later after you've adjusted your tires, right? I will do that later. So yeah, don't worry about that right now. That's gonna be like one of the last things you do. Spring stiffness. All right, so you want the rear stiffer than the front. You want the rear stiffer than the front. Can't stress this enough. That's how I've been tuning ever since I drifted in Forza. You know, rear stiffer than the front and almost about everything. And it works. And I will literally show you that it works after this. So just, you know, take my word for it. Obviously you don't want it too stiff in the front because, you know, if you use common like sense too stiff and you're like sideways, your car obviously leans a little bit. If it's too stiff, it'll like restrict it from like leaning and stuff, and I don't know, some physics shit. It's a game, doesn't matter. These I'm still trying to figure out what these all do. I know what they do, but I've never seen this setting before. This is brand new in this game, so yeah, whatever. Front toe, you want it as close as 0. I don't really know what the beneficial is for toe is. I never used it, so yeah. Camber. You can give this as whatever the fuck you want. The lowest I would do would be 5, but I go to like between -7 and -8. Well, -5 is like the lowest I would go for, and rear camber like -5 to -6. So yeah, obviously you don't want retarded amounts of camber. Forgive me for using that word, but I mean a stupid amount of camber where you will get stuck on literally pebbles. You don't want that. It's goofy looking and it's really not that beneficial. And then roll bar, I obviously stiffen up the front and the rear is less stiff. Caster, I did 2.5. So what caster does, if you adjust it, it like adjusts the angle your wheel's rotated at when it's turned. So as you can see, it's not fully flat on the ground. But you want it as like flat as possible. But if you're getting like snapback oversteer, you can loosen it so it's like the corner of driving of the wheel on it. Also reduces your grip when like steering and stuff. And then max steering angle, this is my favorite part. You can literally pump this bad boy up to 60 degrees, which is really nice. Some cars only go up to like 53, I've seen. But 60 degrees, holy shit, what a big advantage you get. The Ackerman angle, you can literally increase your angle by even more. Boom, look at that. But I keep mine at 100. I don't really want that big of an Ackerman angle, because if you let go of your wheel with force feedback, it's going to spin all the way around, and your tires are really going to turn further. You only want to do Ackerman angle if you can't go like over 50 degrees in steering. But I keep mine at 100 so it doesn't like go so what the heck? So it doesn't go so far like out. It just makes my car spin out the other way. And now wheels. This is important. Wheels are the only thing that is touching the ground on vehicle. The wheels. You know, I mean, unless you have a very high negative camber, so your whole bottom is scraping against the floor. But right here we have a normal vehicle. So rim diameter, you can have like all the way to lowest is like 16 and be chilling. But I like my wheels to fill up the space that is, you know, given. So if you look here, it fills up the space really perfectly. Tire width, I keep it the same, you know, for both. Tire pressure, so I've been messing around with this. Sometimes it works better if you have less tire pressure in the front than you do in the rear for more wheel spin. Sometimes it works better with less tire pressure, or more tire pressure in the front and less in the back. You know, that's you can mess around with that. Tire pressure is very important for grip, obviously. Wheel adhesion, I don't go over 100% in wheel adhesion. You lose, like, you get too much grip. You don't want too much grip. You still want grip. This is like tire pressure is like precise grip. This is not really too good. I would even drift with 90. I would not go over 100%. If you go to 100%, you got yourself a street car. It's really hard to drift with 100% or over 100%. And if you go to 120 and max out, you literally got yourself a fucking track car, a race car, whatever. Oh, snap! I cut my finger. Wheel track. This is literally just how far the wheel is. You can see, brings it out. I only bring out so like. It doesn't matter how far you bring it out, it can still drift, but I bring it out so the wheel is just like kind of like seamless with the body right here. See, it's seamless. It's just drip. And then tire profile, I keep it like, at most I would do would be like 30, but because I have bigger rims, I decrease my profile to 20%. Some cars I have like a 25% tire profile, but yeah. So once you finish with all these brakes, it doesn't really matter. The stock is really good. I just turn ABS off, but I haven't seen any like benefits coming from this, so I just keep everything stock. But yeah, so once you finish everything, you can go back to suspension. So once you adjust your wheels, the stock suspension I think was 9. As you can see, that looks mad goof. So you just adjust it to like just barely like that, and boom, that is your tuning process. So now let me mention the things that you can change if you're not doing very well with your drifts. Tire pressure. Lower the front tire pressure if you're not having enough grip. You know, or increase the front tire pressure if you're having too much grip. You know, you gotta find that sweet spot. Same with the rear. You're not getting enough wheel spin, increase tires. You know, you're spinning out, your back end is getting thrown out like a stripper. Decrease the tire pressure. You leave adhesion at 100. The tire pressure, very important. Spring stiffness, also you can change that, lower the spring stiffness, or increase it if you know, if you want more like push into the ground, I guess. Camber, you can always change this up. Anti-roll bars, you can always change that up, increase and decrease. But anti-roll bar is not really too big, and camber would be like, if you are getting too much snapback oversteer, you can always increase camber. So I would go with that. And wheels, I already said that, you know, tire pressure, most important for grip. So yeah, so that's tuning right there. It's not the best example. I'm sure there's like people who can literally write a novel about this and you'll understand better, but this is just from self-experience and it works. You know, I did multiple tests, many different tunes. I even made the R34 drift pretty good, but it just wasn't my preference, I guess you could say. So we're done with that. So yeah, we'll save it, and then boom, you got mad drip car. Look at this. Well, obviously with some body kit slapped on this bad boy, but it still looks mad drip without the body kit. I think I can have some pretty cool like designs I made. Oh shoot. Like this drip, mad drip, even heavier drip. Anyways, whatever. Now, the part you've all been waiting for. You got your tuning done, you got your settings done, you understand tuning, you understand what to change for tuning if something doesn't work out. Boom. Time to learn to drift. Now, what I'm going to tell you is going to be absolutely bonkers. You probably don't hear this from anybody. But this is how I learned. And if you guys don't believe me, or you think it's a goofy way to learn, I've been looking up drift videos, and like first time guy trying out drift car. This guy's been like learning from a professional drifter in this Mustang, and he first started out with donuts. And the guy explained why you need to start with donuts, because every single turn is basically a portion of that donut. You know, just larger and less like donut rounds, just like a little curve, a portion of it, like you look at a pie chart, you know, just a little portion of it. And if you can maintain a small donut, you can increase the size of that donut that you're doing. So you can go as big as a donut as you want. If you can maintain the donut, you can basically drift at like almost any curve. Small donut, tight curve. Big donut, wider curve, you know. That's basically it. And also, after you figure donut out, you can go to figure 8, which will help you switch from donut left to donut right. So you go like skirt, and then you go back to skirt, you know. So, favorite place to drift is obviously right here, Milton or Springstone. Really like this place to drift. Lots of big curves, lots of flat area. You can always drift in the parking lot, like sneak out to where the cars are actually parked. But if you did purchase this, I would recommend going here. But you can apply this to any open space. You just need open space for donuts. So map doesn't matter. It's just a preference. Whoops. We gotta go to training. And just to show you that this works, look at this. I got gold, bronze, because I don't like drifting in the snow. Gold. What else is gold? That's all I got, gold. Now I only get golds. Except this. I don't like drifting in snow. But gold. Look, achieved. Look at this. Max is 22,000. I got 26.8k. Works very well. So yeah, let's hop in that Springstone. And I'll show you where the flat area is if you do have this map. Alright, so you just go here. Let me pop in a little drift. No assist right here. Alright, so as you can see, let me show you. There is the flat area. My favorite place to like drift, right out there. Look at that. And there's already set up donuts for y'all there, so if y'all like interested, or you can literally just circle around those if you need reference points, if that's how you learn, you know, whatever suits your boat for learning. But I'm just gonna tell you what you need to do. Boom! Look at this flat area. I think there's like a flatter area right here. Right here, nice flat area. So you can practice donuts literally here. So let's begin. I will teach you how to enter into a drift. Sorry, this video is really long, but it's really going to improve your drifting. So you got gears, you got first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and I don't have sixth. That's all right. I would recommend manual because you have more control. Let's say if you speed up and it shifts up, you lose that wheel spin you were getting, and it slows down. Therefore less wheel spin. Therefore your grip increases in the rear tires. So yeah, let's talk about entering drift. So I think there's 4 different ways you can enter it in. You can clutch kick in, e-brake in, weight transfer in, and just throttle right in. So if you have a car like this, I can literally just throttle into a drift, and boom, we're already drifting. I literally just press down on the pedal. Another way is clutch kicking. Now, like I told you, I don't have a clutch, but I can explain real quick. So when you're driving, let's say you're in second gear, you clutch kick and you throttle while your clutch is kicked in, and you let go of the clutch while you're throttling and to whip yourself out. And obviously you want to turn yourself towards the direction you want to go, like this. So I threw myself into the direction I wanted to go. And then we got e-brake, which is you just drive up to speed. You drive up to speed, e-brake in, and twist yourself to the way you want to go. Just like that. Really easy. And then literally just weight transfer. You're driving, you go whip around like this, throw your rear end out. Boom, just like that. Really, really simple. My preferred way is e-brake. Really love doing e-brake. It's my favorite. It's my preferred way. But you can literally just throttle. Like, this tune is just that good. So yeah, you can just throttle in like that, and yeah. And then next thing you want to do is counter steer. So obviously when you get into the drift, you saw I was turning my wheel the opposite direction of where I was going. So let's say if I was angled like this and my slope was going, my curve was going in like this direction, I wouldn't have my wheels angled this way. That's goofy. I would have my wheels angled the other direction. Wheels are angled the direction you're gonna go. That's where you're gonna go. Common sense. So let me show you. Let's say you get into a drift. So when you let go, when you clutch, you can let go of your wheel, and you can see it springs back. That's where the force feedback is really useful at. It springs back and it counter steers for you. You saw that? You see how my wheel just like, look at that, my wheel just corrects itself. That's where your Ackerman angle and steering angle is important. You don't want too much because it'll correct itself to so far out, it's gonna throw you the complete other direction. Let me show you. See? It just throws me the other direction. That's not where I wanted to go. But you could always have a high angle. That's but you also okay. So meaning because your wheel would spin to correct itself, you can't restrain your wheel. You gotta do its thing. Only time you can restrain your wheel is when you're holding that drift. So let me show you. So you go in, you enter, let go of wheel, and then right here, that's the only time I can restrain it. You saw that? I wanted to keep my angle, so when it was counter steered and it was like, correct myself, I just whip it around this way a little bit. Watch my wheel. Whip it around like that. Now watch my wheel as I'm gonna drift. Watch this. Drift, counter steer, look. Whip, you see that? That's the only time you can restrain your wheel. You see like that? I can keep that angle. You see that? See how like I'm straining my wheel a little bit? Just like that. And you're gonna have some practice with that. But best way to practice would be literally maintaining a donut. The longer you can maintain the donut, the longer you can maintain a drift. So now that you know those things, you have a basic understanding, I explained to you why you got to do those. Now you go into your donuts. You can start in first gear. I like second gear, but first gear. So you literally just kick into a donut, let the wheel correct itself, and you just maintain a donut. Just go in circles like this. And now they can like do that. Let's talk about throttle. So as you can see, if you're watching my throttle, you can see it wasn't all the way up to the red. You saw it was going up and down a little bit. You gotta control your throttle. Too much throttle, and you will literally spin out. Let's get a sharp angle. Too much throttle, and you could spin out. I don't know why I'm not spinning out. I guess I'm just that good. But yeah, you can. If you over throttle, you would literally just spin yourself out. If you under throttle, you'll just like, if you let go, like you won't drift. You'll just straighten back out. So you want to control it. So that's where I think donuts are the best, because you learn control. But you can also use that to your advantage. You can let go of throttle if you do over throttle, or like throw your back end too far, and if you feel like you're about to spin out, let go of throttle and it's counter steer all the way, and you'll be able to fix or correct yourself. Let me explain, or let me show you visually. So I'm about to spin out. Let's say I'm about to spin out, and oh my god, I can't get this car to spin out. The angle is just way too much. So I'm about to spin out, let go, and you can see my front end corrects itself, and I can let go, and the front end corrects itself, and then you can apply throttle again. And you can also do that if you're losing your drift. So let's drift around and stuff, and you see I'm losing it, and you apply a throttle, and you can kick your back end out. Let me get it better because I'm looking at it. Oops, that was a little bad. So you're going like this, like, and the throttle. You see how I lost it there, and then I throttled, and look, I get that angle back. So you can also use it to your advantage. And maintaining throttle is also vital for drifting. Too much throttle, spin out, you gotta have, feathering it was really good technique. But yeah, now that you know those things, you literally just want to do donuts. You want to perfect your first donut at least like 4 times. So let me do it 4 times real quick. So as you can see, donuts are really good. So as you can see, I did my 4 donuts there, and once you can literally perfect that, you got your 4 donuts. Now you can practice on doing figure 8s. So figure 8, you're just basically going to transition from one donut to another donut to a different direction. That will help you with your transitions. Okay, go this back up. So transition, how do you do that? Well, it's basically like getting into a drift. Let's say you're already drifting, and you want to transition, right? You'll steer the other way, and you'll kick yourself out like that. Just simple. It's basically just getting into another drift, but you're leaving a drift to get into another drift. You get what I'm saying? So I'm doing my donut, right? And then, boom, throw my rear end out. That was bad, but I want to get into another angle. Boom, you saw that? I threw my rear end out. You always apply throttle and steer the other way to throw yourself out. You don't want to restrain the wheel, like I said. I'm gonna switch. Look at that. I threw it too far, and so you don't want to restrain it. Let's change direction. So if I change direction, you see, it will like correct itself for you. So basically, let's change direction. See, it already corrects itself for you like that. You don't want to restrain it, and you can fully apply throttle to throw your rear end out more, because like I said, you can use it to your advantage. Feather the throttle, switch, throttle up, and it throws your rear end out. You see, I almost spun out there, but I stopped applying like throttle. So this car, you can apply like pretty good amount of throttle. That's what I really like about this car. Really easy to drift with. Like some cars, you have to really feather it, really control it. This car, you see my throttle is almost at the reds. Really easy to drift. Like it's literally like effortless. And yeah, so let me show you a figure 8, and you can do that 4 times as well. So let's go around. Oh my god. We're gonna donut around this place. I lost the drift there. donut around. Let's switch over to that donut. Right? Boom. Just like that. And let's switch over to that donut. You can see I let go of my pedal and my rear end wasn't thrown out too far. Oops. So as you can see, it's quite effortless. This will take you some time, but don't worry, don't not get frustrated, okay? Don't blame anything but yourself. But also, you can always check out your car and fix some things up. Because I did get a lot of snapback oversteer with zero camber, so increasing the negative camber will decrease your snapback oversteer. Well, it like basically eliminates it, increasing your front camber. Basically effortless drifting. And I can literally do it with one hand, it's that easy. Literally the tune of your car is vital. You can see I'm literally full throttling it because this car is too easy to drift with. And you can also use the brake to slow down if you want. But yeah, once you're ready, once you're like really good with 720 degrees, bump it up to 900, go ham. So yeah, anyways, that's the drift tutorial. Sorry it's so long, but yeah, you guys literally learn so much from information I withhold within my mind. Like it's bonkers. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and sub up, you know, that could really help me out and stuff. Make my day, like the video and stuff. And if you guys want more, just comment what you need help with and I'll get it resolved for you. It doesn't even have to be this game, it'll be other games. I'll just experiment and stuff in my own time and figure out solutions. That's all I do. I love figuring out solutions, so fill up my hands, you know, no homo. And I'll see y'all later. Peace. Ooh, that's a good drift. Look at that.